Where are we going? We're going to file item 22, which is AB 1078 by Ms. Olson. Is she here? There she is.
Hello, Mr. Chair. Is it possible to take up AB 1099 first, or would you prefer I stick with 1078? Yes?
Yes. Go for it.
Okay, thank you. So thank you, Mr. Chair and members. I'd like to start off by saying that I am prepared to take the committee's suggested amendment, and I really appreciate the work of the chair and the committee staff toward that end. I miss serving up there with you guys for hours on end every Wednesday. Good to see you. It's my pleasure to present this bill, which would empower parents to more actively engage with schools and teachers by requiring school districts to disclose their teacher evaluation and school funding priorities. California used to be ranked one of the highest achieving states in K-12 public education. Unfortunately, for the last decade, we have consistently ranked among the lowest. We can make our education system more effective by providing more information about how schools are measuring quality and spending their resources. The Local Control Funding Formula and the Local Control and Accountability Plan are innovative policies that give local school districts and county offices of education the ability to allocate education dollars based on the unique needs of their communities while keeping districts accountable to parents. But currently, districts are not required to post online or conspicuously the evaluation method of its teachers or principals, the level of investment they make in the continuing education of teachers, or how their resources are divided between the different schools in their districts. As the members of this committee are fully aware, we are at a critical point in reshaping the future of education policy in California. But we cannot fully hold our teachers or principals responsible for the success or failure of schools if districts do not evaluate their performance and invest in their continuing education and improvement. Parents cannot fully and effectively advocate for their children during the LCAP process if they don't have clear information about how and how often their teachers and principals are being evaluated, or which schools are receiving what level of funding for what programs. Because there are often large disparities of wealth within a school district, as Assemblywoman Weber was speaking to earlier, we need to shine light on the path of resources meant to target the needs of children in one school over the other within the same district. Specifically, AB 1099 would require school districts and county offices of education to make available to the public an explanation of the evaluation process for certificated teaching staff, whether or not the district has adopted an evaluation system for school principals, and a listing and description of the expenditures at the district level and by school site for the implementation of the specific goals in the LCAP. Here with me, I have Bill Lucia from EdVoice and not Brett Barley from Tracy from Students First to speak to the merits of AB 1099.
Mr. Chairman, Bill Lucia with EdVoice. I wanted to speak to two issues. One, in our study that we mentioned about evaluations, we discovered one school district in Orange County that had not evaluated principals in the last 7 years. So we think the idea of transparency and sunshine is a good anesthetic to making sure that folks are doing at least the baseline level of effort when it comes to making sure that the local community is aware of how schools are being managed and the concept of accountability. To that point, with regard to the LCFF and the LCAP plans and so on and so forth, subsidiarity and Aristotle and all those things sound really good, but what the legislature has done without transparency is essentially put a dump truck load of resources at the district headquarters that can go through the black hole of administration or who knows where if the local community doesn't have some sense of what's going on in terms of serving the disadvantaged communities that LCFF was intended to help, including kids in poverty, English learners, foster care kids. That everybody unanimously in this building said certainly bring additional challenges to the schoolhouse door. And for parents to be a partner with the state of California in accountability, there needs to be the first cornerstone element of that, and that's transparency. So we support the bill. Thank you.
Tracy Weinstein here on behalf of Students First, also urging your aye vote today on Assembly Bill 1099. I just want to reiterate what Bill just mentioned, that the additional requirement here for school districts to report expenditures at the building level will really help to, through the LCAP process, will really help to ensure true transparency for California's families on how schools and districts are spending their resources, and provide them with much needed information on how these school buildings and districts are leveraging their resources to meet student needs. It will also help to shine a light on the extent to which districts are using LCFF dollars to really meet the needs of the kids that they were intended to help, as Bill mentioned. So we also urge a strong support today for Assembly Bill 1099. Thank you.
Thank you. And I should note that I am prepared to support this bill, given the amendments that you have taken, so thank you. They have taken away the concerns of the opposition, so thank you.
Really appreciate
with that, any persons in opposition? I'm sorry? Okay, I apologize. If you support, come forward to the microphone.
My name is Amanda Cockle, and I'm a senior at Houston High School, and I strongly support Bill AB 1099.
Thank you. Any opposition to the bill? Please come forward.
Good afternoon, Chairman O'Donnell, members of the committee. My name is Norma Sanchez, and I'm speaking on behalf of the California Teachers Association. CTA has an oppose on AB 1099 because it duplicates existing federal mandates and is unnecessary. The Staff Evaluation Reporting System, or SERS, replaced by the Great Teachers and Principals Survey that was used in 2010 and 11 to collect data related to the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act of 2009 funds, already collects this data. The U.S. Department of Education requires the state educational agencies to collect the following data, and that is information regarding the system used to evaluate the performance of teachers and principals, which includes all of the evaluation forms and procedures to be used, the overall performance of evaluation rating for all teachers at a school, and the overall performance rating for all principals district-wide. The data is collected annually and is submitted to the U.S. Department of Education through EDFAX. AB 1099 also duplicates current expenditure disclosure requirements in the LCAP. Finally, taken out of context, the data reported as mandated in this bill distorts and provides a skewed and inaccurate interpretation of the exemplary purpose and intent of educative evaluation. The goal of any evaluation system is to strengthen the knowledge, skills, and practices of teachers to improve student learning. This bill oversteps its bound on collective bargaining and should not have the authority to include elements that are not negotiated as part of a teacher's evaluation system. For these reasons, California Teacher Association is asking for your no vote on AB 1099.
Mr. Chair, members, Nancy Chaitis Espinosa with the California School Boards Association. Our opposition to this bill stems from the fact that we agree with the author that it's important that the LCAP be a usable, understandable document for parents and laypersons. We're concerned that adding these requirements, particularly at this early stage, when our LEAs are using a brand new template again this year, and we are just now in the process of developing the LCAP evaluation rubric, it's just too early to be adding requirements to this document, and we are concerned that it may become a little too unwieldy and not so user-friendly for our parents and stakeholders. Secondly, we are concerned about duplicating reporting requirements and information that is already available to parents and members of the public. And lastly, I wanted to address one of the suggested amendments in the committee analysis that pertains to collection of aggregate data on teacher evaluations. Some of our members are also concerned that, particularly in small and rural schools, they just don't have the numbers to meet this requirement in a way that protects the confidentiality of teachers. So we would support deletion of that language as well. So respectfully ask for your no vote.
Great, thank you. Members of the public in opposition, please come
Ron
forward.
Rapp from the California Federation of Teachers in opposition to AB 1099 for many of the reasons already stated. Thank you.
Luciano Ortiz, Port Hueneme School District, second grade teacher, strongly oppose this bill.
Leslie Littman, William S. Hart School District, oppose. Thank you. Ann McCaughey, Vice President, Stockton Teachers Association. I oppose.
Amy Vaginas, Cupertino Union School District, and I oppose.
Erica Jones, kindergarten teacher, Los Angeles Unified, and I oppose.
Peter Manette, Penn Valley Elementary School District, oppose.
Shantaine Fauntleroy, physical education teacher in the Hayward Unified School District, and I strongly oppose.
Charles Shannon, Orinda Union School District, second grade teacher, and I oppose.
Melissa Rosnack, first grade teacher in Brentwood, and I oppose.
Sarah Savakul, Antioch Unified School District, high school teacher. I oppose.
Fran Zumwalt, U.S. History teacher, Grossmont Union High School District in San Diego County, and I oppose.
Joe Pratt, Paradise Unified School District. My teaching practice is completely transparent as my classroom door is open to all parents every day. I strongly oppose.
Chris Prokop, Cajon Valley Union School District, strongly opposed.
Pat Mazzulli, high school biology teacher in Fontana Unified School District, and I'm adamantly opposed.
Bill Murphy, second grade teacher, Livermore Unified, and I'm very much opposed to this.
Claire Key, Mount Diablo Unified School District. I too am opposed.
Linda Ortega, and I also oppose AB 1099.
Dale Kennedy, Kings Canyon Unified School District, and I oppose this bill.
Roberto Rodriguez from the Sweetwater Union High School District, and I oppose.
David Eliezer, Martinez Unified School District. I am opposed to AB 1099.
Amy Laughlin, Savannah School District, and I oppose the bill.
Erin Roselli, kindergarten teacher, Orange Unified, and I am opposed.
Steve Henderson, California School Employees Association, in opposition.
Ann Katzberg, San Ramon Valley Education Association, I oppose.
Cecily Meyer Cruz, Los Angeles Unified School District, and I oppose.
Brandon Dorsey, first grade teacher from Fremont. I urge you to strongly oppose this bill.
Liz Esquivel, and I oppose this bill. Terabella Elementary.
Thank you. Members of the committee wish to comment? Seeing no members of the committee wishing to comment, do we have a motion?
Move the bill.
Bill's been moved and seconded. Secretary will call the close.
Sure, I'll close very briefly. Just wanted to, again, highlight the amendment we took speaks directly to something that CSBA brought out, and that is we did remove the provision related to aggregate data, so that has been removed. Respectfully request your aye vote. All we're really asking here is that districts simply disclose whether they have an evaluation system, and if so, what that evaluation system looks like. It certainly doesn't conflict in any way with collective bargaining agreements or with the purpose of evaluation systems. So appreciate the attention of the committee, appreciate the assistance with the language, and respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Please call the roll.
The motion is do pass with amendments to Appropriations Committee. O'Donnell?
Aye.
O'Donnell, aye. Chavez?
Aye.
Chavez, aye. Kim?
Aye.
Kim, aye. McCarty?
Aye.
McCarty, aye. Santiago?
Aye.
Santiago, aye. Thurmond?
Aye.
Thurmond, aye. Weber?
The bill is out.
Thank you.
With that, we're now going to take up AB 1078, also by Ms. Olson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members. At its best, an excellent K-12 system prepares our students to be future leaders in a robust economy with a very strong middle class. Unfortunately, California has not reached that goal. Our state currently ranks 46th in the nation in education outcomes, and its 23.4% poverty rate is the highest in the nation. The human toll of these statistics translates into 8.9 million of our friends and neighbors across the state struggling under the weight of poverty. From the beginning of our country, the key to alleviating poverty and experiencing the American dream, strengthening the middle class, preparing students for the workforce, and empowering youth to fully engage in our modern economy has started with providing a quality education. Toward that end, I'm pleased to present AB 1078, a bill that would update and require full implementation of the existing teacher evaluation law known as the Stoll Act. The Stoll Act was passed in 1971 to provide school districts with a timeline for teacher evaluations and to designate the importance of peer review and student academic performance in these evaluations. However, the Act lacks definition and guidelines, and school districts have largely ignored its provisions. This year, EdVoice released a report entitled Student Progress Ignored, an examination of California school districts' compliance with the existing Stoll Act, which found that the majority of districts in California do not formally assess whether or not a student is actually learning when considering the job performance of the student's teacher, and that 86.5%, over 86% of evaluations did not include any connection to pupil progress in their comments, despite that requirement in existing law. Furthermore, the Act lacks opportunity for teacher growth because it only provides two assessment categories, satisfactory and unsatisfactory, which, as so many teachers will tell you, is not very meaningful. AB 1078 would improve teacher evaluations by modernizing the Stoll Act to develop meaningful teacher evaluations that will help both teachers and students continue on the path to success. Specifically, AB 1078 would require the State Board of Education to update teacher evaluation guidelines by July 1st, 2016. We felt it was appropriate, based on the fact that we're not the experts in the education field, to defer the specifics of that development process to the State Board. It would require annual teacher evaluations to result in 4 categories of determinations: highly effective, effective, minimally effective, or ineffective. It encourages school districts to use peer evaluation and surveys of parents and students as part of the evaluation and assessment guidelines, but it does not mandate or prescribe that. The idea is for the State Board to develop multiple measures, multiple criteria by which the evaluations can be used locally. If a district becomes out of compliance with the Stoll Act, as updated by the State Board, this bill prohibits the SBE from granting any waiver request by the district. The importance of that provision is, as we discovered, over 86% of school districts today are out of compliance with existing law in the Stoll Act. And so we needed an enforcement trigger to make sure that school districts come into compliance. California has an enormous amount of talent when it comes to educators. Our teachers deserve to work in an environment that allows them to grow, excel, and get the continuing education to continually improve on their careers, just as in any other profession. And our students deserve the opportunity to learn from effective teachers. A recent study earlier this year by Teach Plus of California teachers discovered that between 65 and 72% of our teachers support education reforms. I come from a family where 5 members of my immediate family are public school teachers. I'm a strong advocate for public education because education is the great equalizer. Growing poverty erodes the middle class in our state and places the California dream further and further out of reach for our students and for our families. With a quality education, we can change that. With good teachers, there is no limit to what our children can achieve. By creating more meaningful teacher assessments, AB 1078 will propel both teachers and students forward on their individual paths to success. AB 1078 is an important step forward in giving California the opportunity to once again be a leader in education, which in turn will better prepare our students, our kids, and future generations of Californians for success in school, in the workplace, and in life. I have here with me Hannah Lincolnhoker from Students Matter, as well as Bill Lucia from EdVoice to speak to the merits of AB 1078. Excuse me, Ben Austin is here from Students Matter. Sorry, Ben.
Mr. Chairman, Bill Lucia with EdVoice. I'd like to speak to 2 parts of the bill to underscore. One is in terms of what research and evaluation shows is unequivocally that multiple bands is the best practice. As you know, that's been reflected in several pieces of legislation and is again here. So that we think that is definitely evidenced as an improvement over the current law that's some have said is outdated. And secondly, having been a former executive director of the State Board of Education, I think it's apropos and certainly gets school districts' attention when they come up to Sacramento and ask for a waiver that they indicate whether or not they're complying with current law. And it's kind of awkward, you would think, for them to come before the State Board of Education and ask for a waiver of another law when they're purposely failing to follow a basic law, which is the common sense basic accountability provision in the education code that says everybody must be evaluated. And as the heart of that evaluation, the center of that is student progress and how well students are doing as part of the equation, and that being considered along with the mandatory responsibility that when you're doing an appropriate evaluation and you identify struggling staff, that the school district board has an obligation to help the struggling staff to improve. And that's, again, to the benefit of students and the primary mission of the school district. So we think that it really is a good enforcement idea, whether or not it's an outright prohibition or whether it's something that could be, at the very least, taken as they can't be on consent for a waiver of some other sort when they're clearly violating the law in the first instance. But we do appreciate the bill and support it for those reasons.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Ben Austin. I'm with Students Matter. And there's a lot of jargon in a conversation like this. And I wanted to break it down and tell you a very brief story about what this bill and what Vagara in particular means to me. Most mornings, I do school drop-off. Most mornings, I'm not testifying before a committee like this. And I'm a public school dad. But I'm lucky. I'm lucky because I'm privileged and because I'm white. And because of that, I live in West Los Angeles. When I drop my daughter off in her second grade classroom, I walk past parents who are empowered, who are getting what they want for their kids, and I drop my daughter off in a classroom of a truly amazing teacher. Because of my day job, which involves both education reform and community organizing, oftentimes after I drop my daughter off, I drive to other schools. Schools oftentimes in the same school district, in the same city, the same size schools, same age kids, oftentimes not geographically all that far away from my daughter's school. But as many of you know, these schools, while they're supposed to be the same, are anything but. And it used to be that the disparity in the quality of instruction between the instruction that my daughter receives and the instruction that other children receive who may not share her skin color or her zip code, it used to be that disparity was just unfair. But what Vagara says and what bills like this are attempting to do, what Vagara says is that disparity isn't just unfair, it's actually unconstitutional. That children of color, low-income children, undocumented children, now for the first time in California history have a constitutional right to a teacher as good as my daughter's teacher. Now, what that means for a body like this, the way it translates into policy making, is that this body now has a constitutional charge
if you could sum up,
to make decisions rooted just in what's good for kids, and to stand with the vast majority. Yes, stand with the vast majority of Californians.
Thank you.
To support this.
Thank you, Ms. Olson. Okay. Actually, any comments from the committee? Or wait, we need to go to the public. My fault. Members of the public, in support.
Thank you, Mira Morton here on behalf of the California Chamber of Commerce. Pleased to support this measure.
Amanda Cockrell, senior at Houston High School. I support Bill AB 1078.
Okay. Two witnesses in opposition. Are there any witnesses in opposition? If they could come forward.
One more support. Brett Barley, Students First, in support.
Thank you.
In support, Shane McLeod, former school board member, Santa Monica, Malibu, former teacher at LA Unified for 7 years and a charter school, and member of PALS, Parents Advocate League. Strongly support this.
Thank you.
Respect teachers. We need four.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Okay.
4 points.
Any witnesses in opposition?
That's okay. No worries.
Good afternoon, Chairman O'Donnell and members of the committee. Again, my name is Norma Sanchez, and I'm speaking on behalf of the California Teachers Association. CTA has a strong opposition to AB 1078 because it would impose evaluation mandates that must be, under current law, bargained locally. The bill requires that the State Board of Education to revise, update, and adopt guidelines that the school districts may use in the development of the teacher evaluation procedures. It also requires that the updated guidelines include an annual evaluation and assessment of a teacher's overall performance. The Still bill, as correctly stated by the author, was signed into law in 1971, and you heard other people discuss that, and delineates policies and guidelines for the evaluation of teachers in our state. The question becomes, there is another piece of legislation on September 22nd, 1975, then and current Governor Jerry Brown signed Senate Bill 160 by State Senator Al Roda, known as the Educational Employment Relations Act, or the ROTA Act. And that gave California public school teachers collective bargaining rights. ERA provides that all matters relating to wages, hours of employment, and other terms and conditions of employment are negotiable. The critical discussion of how to create evaluations that become useful tools for teachers and schools occurs by mutual agreement between employer and employee. Government Code Section 3543.2 demarcates that the procedures to be used for the evaluation of employees is expressly enumerated as such a term and condition of employment, making matters related to evaluation procedures negotiable as a matter of clear statutory mandate. Well-planned evaluation programs based on policies cooperatively developed by staff and administration assures that the evaluation will serve its primary purpose of benefiting bargaining unit members, students, and the community. When programs conduct strong practical evaluations on a routine basis, the findings are better positioned to inform their management and improve program effectiveness. These principles apply to all bargaining unit members, whether full-time or part-time. Their implementation should be bargained by the appropriate bargaining unit, not the state board, and should apply uniformly within the employing unit. For this reason, California Teachers Association strongly opposes AB 1078.
Thank you. Our next witness.
Good afternoon. Ron Rapp from the California Federation of Teachers, speaking in opposition to this bill. We support a high-quality, robust teacher evaluation system. That's why we've been working collaboratively with you, Mr. Chair, and your staff and the leadership on the Senate side to develop a teacher evaluation bill that fundamentally supports teachers and high-quality teaching and learning in our schools. As my colleague mentioned, these systems need to be developed collaboratively. That is a crux of a good teacher evaluation system. You know, we're hearing a lot about Vergara. Vergara is under appeal, in case some folks don't know that. Under appeal, we feel that the lawsuit has absolutely no credibility. We hope that it will be overturned, but there's this cloud of, hey, let's do things to teachers because of Vergara. And it's interesting that there have been no conversations with our association related to this teacher evaluation bill. As I said, we are supportive of a high-quality teacher evaluation bill and system, and we are willing to work with folks collaboratively to develop one. This is not that bill, and for those reasons, we oppose it and urge a no vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Members of the public in opposition, please.
My name is Charles Shannon. I work in Orinda Union School District. I'm a second grade teacher. I'm also on our bargaining team and president of my association. We work collaboratively with our district. We have a robust evaluation system. I strongly oppose this bill. Thank you.
Luciano Ortiz, Port Hueneme School District. I strongly oppose this bill.
Melissa Rosnack, first grade teacher, representing the Brentwood Teachers Association, and I oppose this bill.
Claire Key, Mount Diablo Unified School District, third grade teacher. I oppose this bill.
Linda Ortega, second grade teacher, Concord, and I also oppose this bill, but I also want to say I work at a Title I school, and every teacher at my site is a veteran teacher, and we love working with our diverse students.
My name is Shantane Fauntleroy, and I am glad that I became a teacher. And as you can see, I'm not white, but I sure feel blessed and privileged to be educated, to have been educated by California teachers, and that's why I became one. And I strongly oppose this bill.
I'm Ann Katzfer from San Ramon, and I oppose this bill.
Bill Murphy, second grade teacher from Livermore, and I oppose this bill.
Sarah Savacool, high school teacher, Antioch Unified School District, also oppose this bill.
Kenneth Kent, fifth grade teacher, Title I school, fifth grade, strongly oppose this bill.
Pat Mazzulli, high school science teacher in Fontana Unified. I oppose this bill that circumvents bargaining of evaluations.
Fran Zumwalt, Grossmont Union High School District, San Diego County, and I oppose this bill.
Bob Donovan, San Ramon Valley, teacher for over 35 years. I oppose this bill, and I promise that I'll self-reflect when I evaluate my students' work.
Roberto Rodriguez, Sweetwater Education Association, president, teacher for 27 years in the Sweetwater Union High School District, and I oppose this attack on my bargaining rights.
David Eliezer, teacher of at-risk kids in Martinez Unified School District, president of Martinez Education Association. I oppose this bill as it jeopardizes our collective bargaining rights.
Anita Johnson, Mount Diablo Education Association, oppose.
Dawn Kova, I'm a special ed teacher in the diverse district of Pittsburgh Unified, and I oppose this bill.
Joe Pratt, sixth grade teacher, Paradise Unified School District. I oppose this bill.
Chris Prokop, LCAP committee member, Cajon Valley Union School District. 9 times I've been evaluated. I strongly oppose this bill.
Dale Kennedy, Kings Canyon Unified School District, sixth grade teacher. I also have served 6 years as a principal of a middle school doing evaluations, and I have currently I sat there and developed our current evaluation, which is very robust in our district, and I strongly oppose this bill.
Erin Roselli, Kindergarten, Orange Unified School District, and I oppose this bill.
Amy Laughlin, reading intervention teacher in Orange County. I oppose the bill.
Steve Henderson, California School Employees Association, in opposition.
Peter Manette, kindergarten teacher from Nevada County, oppose.
Ann McCaughey, delegate to State Council, California Teachers Association. I oppose.
Amy Vadunas, Cupertino Union. I oppose.
Cheryl Cuccalio, 39-year teacher of government in Fremont, and I oppose.
Susan Jorgensen, 12-year government teacher from Fremont Unified School District. I oppose.
Leslie Lippman, 20-year teacher, William S. Hart School District, and I oppose.
Brandon Dorsey, first grade teacher, 15 years, and a parent of the third grader. I oppose.
Erica Jones, kindergarten teacher, South Los Angeles, and I oppose.
Cecily Meyer Cruz, Los Angeles Unified School District, and I oppose.